What's up everyone? Today we're going to have a look at the cryptocurrency coin Tectonic, which has just absolutely exploded onto the cryptocurrency scene. I've never heard of this cryptocurrency coin before, but it's just been trending all over the place and for good reason. You can see here over the past 5 days, we have seen an almost 600% rise in price, which has caused a lot of influencers to come out of the woodwork, shilling and spreading FUD about this coin. But within the past, on the 29th of October, within 5 hours, that 600% gain was just wiped out, which I find quite funny because, as I said, when you look at these influencers, if you go onto YouTube, we have urgent, final stand is here, you know, this is your last chance, 400x pump, breaking news, urgent, Tectonic exploding, and it goes on. Don't wait too long, you'll miss out. What you need to know to become the Tectonic millionaire. I find it really funny how all these people pop up out of nowhere. Look, price is still rising, and that narrative has now shifted. We've had a few days of explosive growth, but now we're getting warning, urgent message to investors, huge sell-off, what to do, take profits, the price is crashing. So this video I want to dive into what is Tectonic, is it worth the hype, and what is a realistic price prediction, because I own zero of this coin, so it's not in my interest to shill it. I'm just generally curious about what the coin is, like yourself. So let's get straight into it. Now the first thing I want to do is just take a look at the Tectonic webpage just to get an understanding on what they're trying to achieve. So we've got a tectonic shift in lending and borrowing. Tectonic is a cross-chain money market for earning passive yield and instant access to loans. So there's a lot of keywords in there which grab your attention, which is what they're trying to do. So it's some good marketing, and as you can see here, it is powered by crypto.com or the Kronos network really. So we've got some facts. So right now we've got $354 million worth of assets being supplied, and of that supply I assume $141 million of assets are being borrowed. So let's get on to the savings part. Now we've got generate passive yield on your assets. Crypto assets deposited into Tectonic earn attractive APYs based on a dynamic rate according to market demands. So what does that mean? Well, the APY, or the interest you will earn by loaning out your assets, will change and fluctuate, and it will change based on market demands and supply. So let's say you are loaning out the Kronos coin, the crypto.com coin. If more people are trying to borrow that coin, your interest rate will go up. So then we've got the instant loans, instant liquidity at your fingertips. Get an instant loan, and this is a big selling point we're seeing now. DeFi finance, it's the new trending topic. You know, back in the day, as an example, we had the metaverse. There was so much hype around the metaverse, and we saw Sandbox blow up, Decentraland blow up, and so many metaverse projects just completely blow overnight. And this is what we're seeing in the next, I guess, the next stage, or the next bull run, or next stage of crypto, whatever you want to call it. We are seeing that hype shift into decentralized finance. So if we carry on, we've then got keeping your funds safe is a top priority. So they've had their smart contract audited, which is good to know. They do have an insurance fund for anything that goes wrong, and on top of that, they are open source, so anyone can just sort of take a look under the hood, which doesn't really happen anymore. Crypto now, no one really cares about the project, they care more about the hype, and I completely get why, because technology doesn't really bring great price returns. It's more about hype, media marketing that does bring a lot of these crypto returns. And then if we go down to the FAQs just to get a bit more of an understanding, so it just tells us what we know now. Tectonic is a decentralized, non-custodial money market protocol. Deposit your assets, earn some income, or borrow some funds if that's what you want to do. How does it work? Well, us, the users, provide the funds, we get an interest rate on it, and it's all powered by smart contracts. And Tectonic. So what is Tectonic? We'll get a bit more onto that later, to what the Tokenomics is over the Tectonic coin. So that is Tectonic. It's basically a decentralized finance platform where you can loan out your assets for interest, or if you want to take a loan and you want to borrow some assets, you can do that. That is basically it. Now if we have a look at the platform, so you can see what it looks like, this is the platform. So there's not, I don't know if these are the only assets on it right now. I don't have an account. I did try to connect my wallet and I kept getting an error message, which isn't really a good sign. But you can see here, USDT, there's 160 million being supplied and there's about 73 million being borrowed, and that's your API, you got 1%. So the highest APY at the moment, if these are the only assets, the highest APY is 1.97%, and that is on Tectonic, and you have to borrow it. This is quite interesting. So if you supply it, you only get a 2% interest rate, but the borrow APY is 11%. So if you're borrowing the Tectonic coin, you're gonna have to pay 11% interest, which is quite interesting to see how big that difference is between what you get as someone loaning out the asset versus what you have to pay if you are the one taking on the loan. So that's quite interesting. It's not as big for the others, to be fair. It just seems to be the Tectonic coin. The others are a bit more, the gap's a bit more smaller. So if we move on to tokenomics, you know, how does the Tectonic coin fit into all of this? That's another thing we need to ask. A lot of the times we have these cryptocurrency coins, but you don't really need them. They don't really serve a purpose. So let's see what the Tectonic or the Tonic coin actually does. So if we look at the, I guess, the supply of the coin, we've got 500 trillion coins. So there's a lot of coins in circulation right now. And if we look at the allocation here, you can see that 50% of the, well, just over 50% will go to the community. And then you've got 23% reserved for the team, 13% reserved for the ecosystem, and 13% reserved for maintenance, and 0.1% reserved for an airdrop. And looking at the release schedule, you do have a lot of coins which are going to hit the market, and that's very important to think about, because as these coins release into the ecosystem, into the market, that is sell pressure. Price might be rising now because supply is capped. What's going to happen when all this excess supply hits the market? The price will drop, or it will struggle to increase, because that increase in supply will sort of neutralize the increased demand. So that's the allocation of the coin. But again, how does the Tectonic coin actually fit into this? Well, you can see here it tells us what it does. So Tectonic, they are a centralized platform right now because they are new, but they want to shift control to the community, and that's where the Tonic coin fits into this. Tonic can be used to vote on proposals. So that's what the coin does. It's a governance coin. By owning this coin, it just means you can have a vote in where the platform will head into the future. And as we see, we've got 500 trillion Tonic supply, and most of the Tonic distribution will be distributed via rewards, which is that community incentive split we saw. 50% of it will go to the community, and then the rest is split among the team, security, and an ecosystem reserve. So that's good to know. They'll be giving these coins back to the community, rather than often what we see, a lot of the coins will go to the team, or they will go to investors instead. But it does mean if you are a Tectonic whale, you can just increase that whale position, which, will that be good for the market demand versus supply? If you have all these coins and you can just dump a market, probably not, but we'll see how it goes. Now, as we've discovered, Tectonic operates in the DeFi market. So I want to bring your attention to this. So I've gone onto CoinMarketCap, and as I've said, well, I don't know if I did mention it earlier, but DeFi, it's not a new area. The Tectonic token or platform is not groundbreaking. It's not entering a new territory we haven't seen before. In fact, there's already an established DeFi market. And you can see here, we've got 48 billion. That's how big the DeFi market is right now. So Tectonic is a drop in the ocean. And that's what you have to realize. As much as people will hype this coin, there are already established big cryptocurrency projects dealing in this market, and they already have running platforms that do the exact same. And they have more assets available. You know, we've seen on the Tectonic webpage, there wasn't that many assets available. So if we scroll down, you can see these are all the projects which are trying to combat the DeFi industry in some way. It just goes on. You've got a lot of coins, and that is a lot of competition for Tectonic. But one of the good things about Tectonic is if we do go to the mechanics, you can see that, I mean, it's a small coin, it's ranked 2,697. and it only has a market cap of 13 million. It is a tiny coin. One thing I did learn when I was researching it actually is down here, it was founded by Gary Orr. Now Gary Orr was the former CTO of Crypto.com, and that's good to know. It's got a big name behind the project, and I assume because of that link, they will have a lot of Crypto.com help in terms of marketing, because, you know, I assume they're going to promote their own. So at a market cap of 13 million, it could be worth a little punt. I wouldn't really put too much into it, I don't think, but it's already so low. So if you put a small amount in, it would lead to larger gains. You don't really need to put your life savings into a coin like this. Not that I'd recommend you putting your life savings into any coin, because it is a highly volatile market and you should never put everything you own into cryptocurrency. And I've just noticed something actually. Right now, the circulating supply is 90,000 billion. So we're still a long way off the 500 trillion. So you have to be mindful there's going to be a lot of coins hitting the market and dumping the coin, causing negative price action. So where do we think this coin could go? Well, without just plucking a number out the air, it's hard to really establish how far this coin could go. It's got a solid founder. It's operating in a market which I think will be the next hype area. I do think DeFi finance will be the next big thing. So it is operating in a good area, but there's already so many established projects out there. So we have to think, well, what would the price of this coin be if it did become as big as one of these already established projects out there? The first thing I'm going to do is look down this list. There's a couple of popular projects in this space. Now, number one is DYDX. So DYDX is sitting at rank 181, so mid-market cap. So if we have a look to see where Tectonic would be if it hit this market cap, I'm going to use the website Market Cap Of, which is a great website if you're just bored and want to play around. So if it reached the height of DYDX, you're looking at a 13x. Now DYDX has been in the game for a long time. It's very established. Its platform has so many users. I think it's one of the most used DeFi platforms out there. But it only sits at a market cap of 181, and that would give you a 13x. If we look at the next one, so that's a mid-market cap. If you think it could go a bit higher, we'll scroll up to more of like the 20 range. Aave is another really good coin which operates in the same market. Let's say if it reached the same market cap of that, we'll have a look and play around. We're looking at a 72x. Now, can Tectonic be that big? Can it become a large market cap coin? No one knows the answer on that. If it did become a large market cap coin, would you see some massive returns? Definitely. So would I recommend buying it? If I'm honest, I wouldn't be putting loads into it. It's such a crowded market. Put $100 in. $100 isn't going to hurt anyone. If it does blow up, that $100 does a 72x. It's an unbelievable return. I wouldn't go all into it. But it's definitely operating in a good market which will bring great returns. Hope you've enjoyed this video. If you want to learn more about cryptocurrency, make sure you check out the next two videos.